development tool of any cloud, any of the development tool of AWS, which is which to which you guys need to connect from outside, right? So for that, you guys can create programmatic access. So programmatic access enables an access key ID and secret key access. So basically, when you click on programmatic access, AWS provides you an access key or a secret access key. So with the help of that access key, you can access your IAM user on any API or CLI mode or any of the development tools. Okay, so we are like doing it for management console right now, because I'll show you or I'll demonstrate you how to access your IAM user on management console. So we have clicked on management console access. Then we have two options, we have to create password for management console, right? Because without password we cannot access our management console. So we have two options: auto generated password and custom password. Auto if we leave this as default, so AWS automatically generate a password and give you in a documented form. But I prefer to go with custom password, because then I have like the rights to create like my own password. So I'm creating my own password. Okay, I created my password. Now comes one more important thing: require password reset. Like if you have created your own custom password, or you have clicked on auto generated password, right? And if you want to change the password after first login, like for example, we guys can see we guys like for example we can say, if you are creating a bank account and bank is providing you ATM card. So bank provides you ATM card with some or the other default ATM pin. If you leave this tick, so you will need to change your password which you have created over here after your first login. So I'll remove this, because I don't want to change my password, because I have created my custom password. Then we will go to permission. Now permissions, like we can attach our own permissions directly to our user. We can also copy the permissions from other users which are existing. So we don't have any user which is existing right now. So you guys can see, like if I click on copy permission from existing user, no result. I can also attach the policies directly from here if I don't want my user to like be in any of the group. But if you guys want your user to be in any group, right? Like I have a company, I have a branch in US, and I have a branch in Dubai also. So I have to create a group for US, and I also have to create a group for Dubai. So I want my user to be in Dubai group because he is working in Dubai. So I have to create a group for that. So if you want your user to be in some of the group, so you guys need to have group here. I don't have any group, so I'll create a group. Now I have to give a group name. So I'll give I am group. Now if you're creating a group, so you have to assign the permissions or policies which you want which you want to assign with your group. So I am giving administrative access. You guys can see here are various policies like which AWS provides, AWS IAM provides. So here are many policies. So I am providing this group administrative access. So what is administrative access? So administrative access is nothing but full access to AWS services and resources, full access. So this is the trial version. So I am giving administrative access. I can also search here, like if I am searching for EC2. So you guys can see we have policies for EC2 as well. I am searching for Route 53. So we have policies for Route 53 as well. I'm searching for, I've cancelled that. I'll quickly do that again. If if you want to add policy for ELB, so you can search, okay, not no ELB, load balancer. So you can search for load balancer. You have the policies for load balancer as well. Similarly, you have policies for each and everything. So you guys just need to search that and select that policy. But I've given administrative access. So the group has full access to AWS console. So the user which will be adding in this group will have the administrative access by default. Okay. Then we just need to click on create group. So our group is now created. You guys can see we have one group, IAM group, and administrative access, like attached policies, administrative access. So our group is selected. Now we have one more thing, permission boundary, right? So if you are adding your user to some or the other group, and you want your user to gain some other or additional extra power. So, but your group users, like the users in your group, don't have that permissions or don't have that power. So you can add these permission boundaries. Like with the help of permission boundaries, you can give certain or some of the certain powers or the certain extra policies you can assign with your user. So if you want to add permission boundaries, use a permission boundary to control maximum user permission. I can assign various different permissions to this user separately to this user as well. So I just need to search for that and assign that. But I don't want any permission boundaries, so I'll go next. Now here it is asking me to add any tag. Basically, this is optional. So tag is nothing but email addresses, like what email address is assigned with that user, description of that user, what is the job role of that user. So we can give that thing, like we can write or give that thing over here. So we are not adding any tag. Then we'll go next. So after completing or after doing all the configuration on any of the service, like not for IAM, not for any IAM user, IAM group, for any of the service, AWS will ask you to review all the configuration that you have done. So I have done IAM username. I've given username is IAM user one. Access type is management console access with password. Console password type is custom. Password reset, I've just removed that tick, so require password reset is no. I've not set permission boundary. My group is IAM group. So this is how you can review all the configuration that you have done. Just click on create user, and you guys can see our user is now created. Now I insist you to download this .php file, because this PHP file contains all the basic information of your user. So I insist you to download that. I'll download it. I've downloaded that PHP file. I'll show you just a minute. So you guys can see I have just downloaded this PHP file. I'll open it. Is my screen visible for the PHP file? Is my PHP file visible or my screen is small? Okay, okay. So you guys can see I've downloaded the CSV file. CSV file contains my username. Obviously, it does not contain my password, because if CSV file get into the hand of some other person, so he'll be able to access my IAM user with my password, right? So password you have to you have to remember the password. Then if we give the programmatic access, then the secret key, like access key, will be visible to you here, and then you have console login link. So with this link, like with clicking on this link, you guys can go to, or you guys can sign into your AWS IAM user. I'll show you. Okay. Now you guys can see I've created my user. I have assigned my user to a certain group. First, I have given management console access, so I don't have any access key. I have a password. Password is today. Password created today, so password is this today. Last activity, because I have not logged in to this user yet, so last activity is none. And I can also create, or I can also activate MFA on this particular IAM user as well. So because I have not enabled, or I have not activated like MFA user to this account, so MFA is also not enabled. Now you guys can see, or you guys can have a look on all the configurations that you have done to your IAM user by just clicking on the username. So we have user ARN. So with the help of user ARN, you guys can go on to sign in link. We have creation time. So on what time we have created our user. We have permissions also. So what are the permissions that we have assigned to our AWS user? We have now another column for group. So which group we have, in which group we have created the user. Like we can create a single user in multiple groups as well, or we can add multiple group to a single user later on as well. So just clicking on add user to group, and then select the another group from this user, this option, and then you can go on. Now we have not add any tags, so tag is not visible. We have security credentials. So in security credential, you guys can see assigned MFA device. So in security credential, I can also assign MFA device to my particular AWS IAM user also. Okay. This doesn't mean yeah, the MFA device which you have assigned with your root account will be same as that of your IAM account. The MFA device for the root account and the MFA device for IAM account can be different. Okay, like with one device you can assign MFA to IAM, and with other device you can assign MFA to your root account. So I can assign MFA to my particular IAM user as well. Now I have access advisors. So let it load. So I have access advisors. Basically, it will show me what my IAM user is access to which service at what time. Like if I logged in with my IAM account, so here like you can see not access in tracking period. But if I'll log in with my IAM account, so you guys can see what was my last access. So in the access advisor, you guys can see your access time, when was the last you access. Okay, so basically access advisor is for monitoring purpose of an IAM user. Now I'll quickly show you how you guys can uh, like how you guys can log in with your IAM user. Okay, so in the security and credential section only, you guys can see there is this summary option. You have console sign in link. Okay, so here you guys can see there is this link. You just need to copy this, and then I'll add another browser. Okay, here I'll go on to management console, and then I'll click on sign into console. Okay, signed in. I'll sign out here. Or one more way is I can just directly paste that link in my search section and enter that. Uh, okay, so with that link, we have directed directly onto sign in page. I have to give my username. So my username was IAM user one, and now I'll enter my password. So the IAM user which I have created in front of you right now. So I am logged in with that IAM user. You guys can see. So with this, you can create your IAM user. Okay. I can access my billing dashboard. I can access my account, like account for IAM user. like I can only change the settings of IAM user. I cannot change the setting of root account. Okay, I can go on to billing dashboard to see any billing activity on my IAM user with here. I can also switch role and I can do whatever I want. Like I can go to EC2. EC2 is accessible to me. I can go to VPC. VPC is also accessible. So you guys can see, like with the help of only single IAM user, I can do anything. Like I don't need my root account. I don't need to log in into my root account and do the activities. I can just create an IAM user and give the administrative access to that IAM user, and I can use that IAM user to do all my work also. So this is the major and this is the important thing that I want you guys to understand. So as soon as you guys get your AWS account, or if any one of you, like two or three of you have a AWS account, so I insist you guys to create an IAM user first, and then do whatever you want on that IAM user only. Do not do any configuration on your root account, because if you will do any configuration on your root account, and if you're new to that thing, so you guys won't be able to go back to the stage one and recover all the things. So I prefer you guys to create an IAM user, do all the things, like all the work which you want to do in your AWS, do it on IAM user. Give administrative access to IAM users. You guys will be able to do each and everything. So this is basically I just want you guys to do. So the first task is you guys have to create your IAM user, and then you have to use your IAM user for any of the purpose. Like you can you and one more advantage that like, we have one more advantage with our IAM user. Like uh, we can say what I was telling. Yeah. So if you have done any configuration, right, and you don't know how to go back to stage one, like how to go back or how to delete all the configuration, or if any of the configuration is not deletable, or you guys are not able to delete that. So what you can do, you can directly delete your IAM user. So all the things that are related to that IAM user will be directly closed. So this is the major importance or major advantage with which we have with IAM user. So I think you guys must or you guys should have understood what is IAM user. If anyone having any doubt regarding IAM users, so write in the chat box. I'll quickly have a look. Anyone having any doubt? Till then, I'll quickly log into my. Okay, quickly log into my AWS account. Permission, okay, permission boundary. Just a minute. Huh? I'll log in into my account and then I'll tell you what is permission boundaries. Not permission border, permission boundaries. Okay, so basically, the permission boundaries are nothing. Understand, like we understand this with one example. Okay, like I have a company, right? And I work, or I can say like I work in a company. So at the beginning or at the start or at the fresher level or at the initial level, I've got some post. Okay, but later on, as soon as I like go on further, like I have worked with that company for 1 year, for 2 years, I will get the promotion, or my job role or my designation will be incremented. So with the increment in my job role, all the some of the permission, some of the powers I'll get some of the new powers as well. So here is the permission boundary. So here is the role of permission boundary, right? Like at first you are working as a system administrator. So they'll assign a permission, or they'll assign the policies for you for they'll create a group and they'll assign policies. which they need to like assign the policies to system administrators. But then you get promoted, so you get some other powers as well. So to add that to add some other power to you only, to only you to individual, we have permission boundaries. So with the help of permission boundaries, we can add extra and additional permissions to a single user. Okay, so is that clear? Permission boundaries. Okay, so yeah, basically, in your you guys can see in your root account we have that we can do monitoring as well. We have the services for that also. You guys can see what your separate user has done, how much work he has done, and how much cost does or how much cost you guys have, like Amazon have put the cost on you due to a separate user. So you guys can see each and everything. We have monitoring services for that as well. I'll be teaching you that things also. Don't need to worry about anything. You guys can do like simple and simple thing you guys can do. So we'll be seeing that thing also. And for now, if you want for now, like you want to know what your user has done, so you don't have to worry for anything. Just go on to root account, click on user, you directly go to access advisor. Okay, so I am like giving you a shortcut for the current situation. So go on to access advisor, and then what are the services that you have access will be visible to you. Like I've not used any of the services till now. I've just logged into my account and logged out to my IAM account directly after login. So I have not used any services. So it is showing me not active. But if you use any of the service, so you'll see what are the services that you have used, and then you can directly go on to billing dashboard, like just clicking on to your name. You guys can go on to billing dashboard. And here you can see, you'll be able to see what are the services, like uh, how much you have cost, or how much amount of services that you have used. So you can do in this way for the current situation. Later on, I'll show you how to create a monitoring or how to create a cloud watch. Basically, cloud watch is used for monitoring purpose. So I'll be showing you how to create and how to assign any of the monitoring service to your IAM. So you guys can see what your IAM user has done. Okay. Now move on to the further. Okay. So now at the beginning, you guys can see now we have done three tasks. Like we have completed three tasks. We have activated our MFA on our root account. We have created individual IAM user. We have also used a group to assign permission to any of the IAM user. Like we have created a group, we have assigned the permissions in that group, and we have assigned IAM user to that particular group. So we have done three tasks. Only one task is remaining for us in IAM. So we need to create a password policy for IAM. For that, I'll just directly go on to manage password policy. Now you guys can see I don't have any password policy till now. It is asking me to set a password policy. So I'll click on set password policy. You have to select what are the configurations or what are the permissions that you want, or what are the restrictions that you want for your password, or for your password policy, or how you want your password. So the first option is required at least one uppercase for from Latin alphabet. So uh, I click on this. If I want my password to have at least one uppercase, require at least one lowercase. So if I want my password to have at least one lowercase, so I'll click on this also. Require at least one number. So I want my password to have at least one number. require at least one non-alphabetical character. So basically, if you want, rather than any alphanumeric character, if you want any other characters like @ hashtag, so I'll click on that. And enable password expiration. Yeah, so this is most important, right? So if you click on this enable password expiration, so you have to mention how many days you want your password to get expired. So after that, after completion of that days, like if I'll enter 60 days, so after the span of 60 days, I have to change my password. Okay, so this is one of the most like important, and we can say AWS given us the best thing. Password expiration required administrator reset. So if you want your administrator to reset your password after your password expiration, so you guys can click on this. But I want my I I want that my IAM user can also change my password. So I'll leave this. Allow user to change their own password. I want my user. I want that my user can also change their own password. So I'll click on this. Prevent password reuse. So yeah. So if you want, like, if you have created a password, and after a span of like 2 to 3 times you have changed the password, and you don't have any idea to create like a new password, so you are trying to enter the same password which you have created at the beginning. So if you want to prevent password reuse, you can click on this also. So remember 5 passwords. So like how many previous passwords you want AWS to remember. So the list of that 5 passwords. So AWS will make sure that you would not be able to use the passwords that are there in the list. So you can do that also, and just save changes. So we have created our password policy. Now we'll go to dashboard, and you guys can see we have completed all the security status that AWS has asked us. Okay, so by completing all the security status, you guys can see we have done user creation, we have done group creation, we have like assigned a permission to user, not specifically, but we have assigned a permission to user with the help of group. So, what remains in the IAM, identity and access management, right? So, we can create our own policies as well. So, I'll show you how to create your own policies. So, you guys can see on the left, we have access management, group, user, role, policy. So, we'll go directly to policy. Now, we have various policies, like we have Amazon has provided us various policies. So if I want to create a new policy, so I can directly click on create policy. Now we have two methods of creating a policy. We can directly create a policy through visual editor. Like I'll just select the service, I'll select the action, I'll select the resource, I'll enter the condition, and then I'll review the policy, and then I'll create the policy. But if you guys know JSON code, so you can create your own policy just by entering the JSON code. Just by so I have some of the policies code with me. So I have this code like host static website on S3 bucket. So this is basically a simple policy. If you want to host a static website on your S3 bucket, that is a topic which we'll study later on. So I have the policy here. So what I'll do, I'll just copy this, and then I'll go here and then paste that. So you guys can see I have my policy. I can review my policy. Okay, so what a policy continue for. Okay, so there is some error. So you guys need to make sure that you guys don't do any of the error in while coding. So I have some error in my coding. So I'll just see just a minute. Okay, so I'll just have a look on this code later on. I'll quickly remove this. So, like the purpose is basically you can directly write your JSON code here, and then you can review your policy and create it. We have also one option, like if you don't know JSON coding, so we have one option for Visual Editor as well. So how we can do that? We can just click on choose a service. So we have a service like mm, mm, I'll select EC2. I'm creating a policy for EC2. Then we have actions or access list, access level. So I want only to just to have the actions which are there in list. So we have some of these actions which we have in the list. So we can select individually. We can select the options which we want. Like we want our EC2 instance to describe the subnet. We want EC2 instance to describe the key pair. You guys can search for any of the options, right? Then I want my EC2 instance to read all as well. So I want to describe tags, get password data. For the write section, I want to like allocate the host to my EC2. I can create VP and connection, VPC peering connection. I can import volume, whatever the permissions that I want to like allocate onto my user. I can create my VPC with that IAM user. Now we have permissions management as well. So we can like reset snapshot attributes, modify VPC endpoint service permission, modify snapshot attributes. If I want I want my policy to create network interface permissions. Okay, now as soon as you have like selected all the permissions or all the policies that you guys want on your policy, so you guys can see we have resources. So it will show me like what is required for me to like create a policy. So it is asking me to have a dedicated host, like specify a dedicated host ARN for the following allocate host action. So I've selected like here I've selected na allocate host. So here he is asking me to give the ARN for allocate a dedicated host. Now I have also like create network interface permission. So he is asking me to specify network interface ARN, create network. Okay. So I'll just click on any. So it will automatically take any of the resource which are available in my account, which on which I am going to assign the policy. Now I just need to click on review. Then you need to mention the name for your policy. I am giving EC2 test policy. You can also describe like about your policy. So for what purpose you are creating your policy. Now you can see a summary or a basic introduction of all the permission or all the access level that you have put on your policy. And then you just need to click on create policy. Now your policy is created. I'll show you. See, my the policy which I have created is like the policy I have created is visible into my policy section. I can just simply click on policy and view all the configuration which I have done on my policy. So with this way, you can create your own policy as well. Okay, is this understood? Any doubt in the policy section? Is there any doubt in the policy section? Okay. Now, no, Manoj, you have to assign like I've shown you na during the user creation. I'll show you again also. like when you are creating user, or you have you have a created user, and you want a new policy, like a new customized policy which you want, which you have created. So you just need, go on to user, and then click on to add permission. Now we have three options. I have told you. You just need to go on to attach existing policy directly, then search for your policy which you have created. So with this way, you can attach your policy to any of your users. Okay. Okay. So now we have one topic remaining in our IAM, identity and access management, that is roles. Okay. So roles, what are roles? Uh, do anyone know what are roles in the chat box? Anyone know what are roles? Like in real world, I'm not asking about AWS. What are roles in like how we can explain roles? What are roles in real world, real life? Anyone writing in the chat box? I'm waiting for 2 minutes. Okay, at okay, okay. So yeah, kind of like what you guys have said. Yeah, so roles are nothing but I have a user, or like I am a user, not I have a user. I am a user. So there might be some kind of work which I have assigned, or I like there might be some of the work which I have assigned or I need to do. So there might be some of the role, like what I am. Uh, uh, like Someone has said, yeah, Manoj has said like function assigned, right? So that is a role, right? Like I have assigned with some of the work. So my role is to complete that work, or my role is to complete the work which I have assigned. So role is nothing but functions assigned, work assigned. So that is role. So I'll show you how to create a role. So just need to directly go into role. Now there are some of the default roles, like some of the roles which are AWS provides you by default. You can create your own roles as well. So just need to click on create role. Then you need to select for which, like for what type of entity you are creating a role. You are creating for AWS services. You are creating a role for other AWS account, like third party for your client. You are creating a role for any web identity, like any of the web identity, or you are creating your role for your corporate, like corporation, anything. So I am creating a role for AWS services. So then I have to choose for what service I am creating a role. So most common services are AWS, EC2 and Lambda, and all the services which are there in AWS. I can select any of these. So I'll select EC2. Now, in EC2, there are various types or various functioning which EC2 have. So I'll select EC2. So basically, EC2 is will have all the things. Then I'll go to next. Then I have to give the permission to my role as well, like while performing the role, like while doing the task, while doing the work. What are the permissions, or what are the the policies that have bounded me, right? So I can like give permissions as well. So I'll directly give the permission which I have created. I have selected the permission which I have created and go to next. You guys can give any tag if you want, like job title, description, email address, contact number, anything. So then click on review. Then you have to give the name for your role. So I've created a test EC2 role, and it will automatically show you what is your role description. So allow EC2 instance to call AWS service on your behalf. So basically this is the role which I have created. Then just need to click on create role. So it will create my role. You guys can see I have just created this role, test EC2 role, and within a span of like few seconds, my role is created and up and running. For the configuration, I just click on the role which I created. I can see what are the configurations which I have done on my role, and further for the future access, like for any future thing, if I want to attach any policy to my role, so I can attach that policy from here. I can also go into trusted relationships. So basically, trusted relationships are nothing but access conditions for the role. Uh, for basically a trust relationship, basically I am assigning this role to someone. So trusted relationship is that. For that you need basically AWS provider like EC2 or identity provider. Then in tax section, like this is same as the other part. So access advisor, all the thing are same. So with this way, you guys can create your own role. So like we have so till now we have completed I am user, I am group, I am policies, and I am role. So these four topics are the major, which not basically major. These are the four topics which I am have, which you guys should understand. So I think we have completed our I am user, group, role, and policy. Then we have some of the options here also, like some of the options here. So we'll quickly see which option does what. So in access management, we have identity provider. So I don't have any identity provider right now. We have seen in the role section, trusted relationship. So for that trusted relationship, you should have an identity provider. So here you can create that identity provider. I'll show you how to create identity provider also. Now in the account section, so you guys can see the password policy which we have created is there in account section. We have security token services STS in our account section. Endpoints, like what are the endpoints that are available for my IAM. So we have all the endpoints which are available for my IAM. So account settings, I have endpoints and password policy. Now access report. So we have access analyzer. Let it. So we have access analyzer. So this way also you can like monitor your IAM services. So you can create your own analyzers, access analyzers. I'll also show you this. This is not that much important like as compared to other like IAM user group and roles and policies. So I'll show you how to create analyzer. You can create access analyzer and you can monitor access to your resources, like IAM resources. So three steps how it works, like you just create an analyzer, review active findings, and take any action. Like if you have created an IAM user and you have assigned some of the work to that IAM user, but other than that work, IAM user is doing some other work as well, like which are not allowed to do, which he or she is not allowed to do. So you can like monitor what he is doing, and you can take any action if he is doing any wrong thing. So Access Analyzer is basically this service. Then we have archive rules. So this is a part of Access Analyzer settings. So after we create Access Analyzer, we have some settings. Then we have credential reports. So basically, whatever we have created We just need we can see all the credential reports here. Like we can download the report, and whatever we have done, we will get the credential report of each and everything. When we have organization activity, so organization activity is if you guys have worked in any of the data center, or if you have if you guys have like worked on any of the servers, so you guys must be aware of organizational unit. So basically organization activity is that part. Okay, like for that you guys you have to be a member of any organization. How to be a member of any organization, or you can create your own organization as well. Just need to go on to your name, then you can see my organization. Here you can create your own organization as well. Then this part will be accessible to you. But this is not uh, for you guys to do. Like currently, this is not for you guys. This is basically for the for the employees who work in organization. So who have the access to organizational unit, only that guy will work on this part. So this is the overall, like an overall thing which IAM has, or AWS provides us in the IAM, identity and access management. So if anyone having any doubt in identity access management IAM, because Lookensy, like if you don't do not delete like access key for your root account, right? So you have created a root account, and every account has an access key. But if your access key for the root account is uh, like uh, someone gets the access key of your root account, so he can do whatever he can do. He will be, or he would be able to do whatever he can in your root account, right? With the access key, anyone, like with the access key of your root account, anyone can do anything on your root account, right? So for that purpose, for the security purpose, AWS automatically by default deletes your access key of root account, or we can say root access key, because if your root access key gets leaked, right? So it is basically a problem for your root account only. So for the security purpose, so why you want to recover like access key or root access key? You can create your own access key, na? For your future use. You can create your own access key. So why you want to recover your root access key? Because if you recover your root access key, like if you have your root access key and by mistake, like by hook or by crook, you like misplace your root access key, and someone gets that, so he'll be able to access each and everything of your root account. So that's why it is deleted by default. You can create your own access key and use that. So that will not affect your root account. Yeah, yeah, it is a default action. We do not delete root access key. It is a default action. It is basically we get the AWS account with this deleted root access key. Like Manoj, you can use your root account as well. I'm not denying that, but I prefer you to create a IAM user, because if you create your IAM user, right, so your root account will be secure. If you're for example, you're working on any project, right, and you have done a very simple or very like a minute mistake during the configuration, but that mistake you do not know, like you have where you have done the mistake. So that will affect your root account. Like that will your root account will get charged for that thing. Like till you have your AWS account. So I prefer you to create IAM account, because whatever you are doing, just do it in your IAM account. So your root account is completely secure. Basically, I prefer it for the security purpose. Because if you use your root account, you use your IAM account, created IAM account, your root account is secure. Um like all the account details are secure, all the bank details are secure, all each and everything are secure. So that's why I prefer you to use IAM account. You can use your root account also. There is no issue in using a root account, but it is for the security purpose and for your safety and for your security and for your uh, um, we don't want you guys to to get billed the amount of if you are new to AWS, right? So you don't know what service do what kind of work. So if you just start any service and then you forget about that service, so you'll get billed like uh, you'll get the bill. So why to pay the bill like for which we have not done anything? So that's why I'm asking you to create IAM account. So that if you have like done any configuration, you can delete your IAM account and you can create new account as well. Only two questions. Others don't have any doubt. Right? Whatever the silliest doubt, like just understand one thing, guys. Like if you have any doubt, right? Like you have a very silliest doubt, so just ask it. Because if you'll not ask it, you'll not understand the things like better. So if you have any of the silliest doubt also, na, just ask it. Like no one is anyone having any doubt. Like if you guys don't have any doubt, just write yes or no in the chat box now. So I'll get okay. Okay, so guys, we have uh, just a minute. So we have basically completed or covered our first topic of our training. The first topic like IAM, user group roles and policies, and we have also understood the models like service model and deployment model which cloud computing has. So we have understood the first topic or the agenda of our first day. So I hope you guys have understood till now. Okay, now I just want to clear one thing with you guys. I'll be giving you tasks on daily basis. Like whatever we do today, I'll give you a task for that, and then you have to perform that task on that daily basis, and then I'll ask you guys on the next class what you have done or is there any doubt regarding that task. So the today's task is you guys have to create an IAM user. Okay, then you guys have to create a group also. You have to create your own policy like uh, in that policy what I can say. mm, okay, so your user only gets the access to EC2 instance, so you have to create a policy so that your user will only be accessible, IAM user will only be accessible to EC2 instance. You have to create a policy, then you have to assign that policy to a group, then you have to create an IAM user in that group. So this is the task which I want you guys to perform. So is there any like confusion or any doubt regarding this task? So please ask me now only. Because I want you guys to like complete this task uh, for tomorrow session. So you guys like yeah, definitely we'll email you the task detail. I'm just yeah, I'll repeat the task. You'll also get the email regarding the task detail, what the task we have given you. So your task is you have to create an IAM policy. The policy in the policy, you have to you have to create a policy such that the user, IAM user on which you are assigning the policy will only be accessible to EC2 services only. Like policy is for EC2 services. Today I have created a policy for administrative access. Search like that. You can search for EC2 on the top of search box during the policy creation. You'll see EC2 full registry. So you just give the EC2, you just give the permission, or you just need to create a policy for EC2. Then you guys need to create a user, one group, add that user in the created group, and assign the policy to that group. So I'll ask you guys tomorrow. I'll ask the credentials. I'll ask you to give me the credential of IAM user. I'll see what you guys have done. So we'll not be doing the task. We'll be also testing. I'll also monitor what you have done. So that will be a good way of basically good way of understanding the thing. I'll give you the task, you do it, then on the next day I'll ask you to give me the IAM user. So your root account will be secure with you. I'll log in into that IAM user. I'll see what task you have done. Okay. Okay. So that's it for today's session. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's class. Today we have completed the very not very small but a small topic, like one of the small topics of AWS training, that is IAM. Tomorrow we will see EC2 instances and EBS volume. Okay. So thank you for coming for and today's session. Just come on time or be on time for tomorrow's session, guys. So we start because today's topic was small or was short, but from tomorrow onwards we'll be having huge big topics. So we'll need time for that, right? So if you guys will be on time, we will be able to complete or will be able to cover our portion or our content which we have decided to do in our training on time. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, 8 to 10 p.m. tomorrow. Daily. The timing is 8 to 10 p.m. daily. Okay, you guys can leave the meeting right now. So we'll share the meeting link with you. Everyone of we'll share the meeting link with every one of you. Don't worry
No,
about the.
No, Nishit, every day same link or it's going to be change every day?
No, if we'll change the meeting link, then we'll mail you. But for now, we'll be having the same. Just a minute, I'll ask Ujjwal. Are we using the same link for every day? Like, or will be changing or will be sending them links daily?
Yeah, the links will remain same. But after completion of 3 days, we'll be giving you password to authenticate and come. So please see the emails. If there is any changes, we will prior inform you.
Okay.
So there will be no delays from and no problem will be caused.
Okay. Nishit, One quick
Yeah.
question. So, what are the services here you have mentioned from our schedule, day-to-day
Yeah.
schedule, the course content? So, those are the most of the services which they are going to touch for the solution architect exam, or something like we have some other services which
No.
AWS services are
Yeah.
very vast.
Yeah. So basically, these services, these are the all services which everyone use in the real world, right?
Hmm.
Like all the services, like I have covered all the services which are currently being used in the real world. Like in every company or every industry, these are the services that are using that people are using. Then, other than these services, we have the services for like direct projects like machine learning, the IoT,
Hmm.
blockchain, and other than these services, we have services for that. So that are not that much like difficult if you understand this thing.
Hmm. Okay,
So
one
the
of the
major
major
work
thing
on
I am seeing actually Cloud Trail, these were not there. So where
yeah.
most of the people will speak about that one Cloud Trail, like where we will,
Yeah,
what is
so
it?
basically, cloud trial is comes under this additional key services. I've told you, na, ki there are
Okay, okay,
many things
yeah,
we'll
yeah, yeah.
study. Yeah, yeah, we'll
So
study
most of
cloud trial
the
in this.
places I have seen like they are configuring
Yeah,
Trail for the logs. What
yeah, I
happened?
know. Yeah, you don't have to worry for anything. If you
Sure, sure.
want any topic you are not we have not mentioned any topic here, so just tell us. We'll mention that also. Like
Yeah,
if that is much important for the real world or industrial world. We'll also like I have, because there are many services, there are many services are there, but
yeah.
we were not able to mention all the services here, right? Because
Correct, correct,
we
correct.
have
That will
yeah, yeah,
that will be another slide. It will be the services, another two to
yeah,
three
yeah.
services.
Okay, okay, okay. No issue, no issue.
Yeah, on demand base, I can ask. I'll ask you if it is required.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah. Thanks.
thank you,
Thanks to both of you. Yeah. Good night.
thank you. Good night.